Hello, everyone. Very good morning. So we have Shiv today. Shiv is the founder and COO of Esper. And Shiv is an amazing guy. He has been supporting SaaS Insider right from the beginning. And Shiv's expertise lies primarily in building partner network and scaling up your network in different regions. So I'm going to stop over here. Shiv, I leave it up to you. The stage is yours.
All right. Thank you so much. Great to be here. Thank you, Chameli. Pretty excited being here and also pretty excited to watch how SaaS Insider has grown in the last year and a half. It's just amazing the kind of network that you guys have created. Very happy to hear, and I'm very thankful to my team at Esper, the marketing team, Neha, Pavitra, Sahana, for making this happen and helping me connect with all the founders and other entrepreneurs here. Can they see my deck, Chameli? Is that right?
Yeah, we can hear you perfectly.
All right, sounds good, guys. Excellent. Can you guys see the presentation as well, right?
Not yet. Can you reshare the screen?
Let me try again. Can you guys see this?
Yes.
Excellent. Sounds good, guys. Great having you all here. I just want to start off to talk about what this pitch is all about, or what this talk is all about. Fundamentally, I want to talk about how SaaS companies, however early stage you can be, like we pre-stage building a product, or you're actually scaling from 1 to 5 or 5 to 10 million, how you can use partnerships and channel partnerships and other ecosystem partnerships to scale your revenue. Typically, SaaS is associated with a lot of inbound driven by marketing, self sign up, self checkout. But one aspect that is actually a lot of founders wait till the later stage is to building a partner network. And we're going to share a story about what Esper did and what Esper is, and how we actually used partner network to scale in the last few years. A little bit about myself. Been in the industry for 15 years. A lot of my experience has been around building partner networks, both at Microsoft, at Samsung, at Huawei. A lot of the partnerships that I've created are around hardware partnerships, smartphones, Nokia phones that you have seen in the India market with Windows phones. A lot of that is building partnerships between bigger companies, startups and bigger companies. And currently at Esper, I manage the go-to-market, that is sales, go-to-market, partnerships, and business development for our company. To start off, if you have not heard of Esper, Esper is a DevOps platform. We help deploy applications to edge devices, your edge devices being a point of sale, a kiosk, a rugged device. For those in the India market, every device that a big basket delivery person or a warehouse person carries in India market is powered and managed by Esper. And for those outside of India, if you ever go to KFC or Taco Bell or Pizza Hut, these big chains, every screen or every device that you see in these large-scale restaurants are actually configured, deployed, and managed by Esper. So we make sure all these businesses have devices up and running using our cloud platform. Let me share about our journey first, right? I mean, why do I talk about partner journey? Esper was created 3 years ago. We are a SaaS company. And in the last 3 years, we actually have built over 200 specific partners, right? In the product that we are selling, our key partners are hardware manufacturers or chipset vendors, like Intel is a big partner, and tablet and phone manufacturers like Lenovo and Samsung and Honeywell and Zebra are strategic partners for us. And what has this led to is even at this early at stage, we are able to generate over 40% of our pipeline opportunity and revenue year over year through our partner network. And basically taking a leaf from what Esper has done, I'm going to give a small playbook for all entrepreneurs who are actually starting out to how to actually go ahead and establish a partner network, or even start about how do you understand who your partner is and how do you engage with them. So those are the basics that I'll be talking about. Right. The first thing is when you talk about partners, what are partners for, let's say, for an example, for an enterprise B2B company, any enterprise application developer, somebody who's building a web app or a mobile app or a service that they're offering, and they have a need or a functionality that kind of aligns with what your product you're building or a service that you're offering, they could be a potential partner. Let's say you could be a chat bot company, you could be an analytics company, and ISVs or enterprise ISVs who acquire those functionalities immediately become a partner opportunity for you, right? That is number one. First category is application developers. Um, the next set of partners are what we call as system integrators, mobile solution providers, or value-added resellers. These are large-scale organizations implementing complex solutions for the Fortune 500s, the banks, the governments of the world, who put together like combination of 10 to 15 technologies together, build solution, customize it, and sell it to large enterprises, which could be like multi-billion-dollar deals. These SIs and MSP and VARs are a great channel to reach big ticket enterprise customers who you wouldn't have access to otherwise. Like they wouldn't go out and seek out one or two solutions, but they're looking for somebody to bundle it and offer like a full set of package solutions. And finally, the key thing is like there's no product is same. So whatever product you're building, be it in SaaS, be it like a service or a content, you have to dig deep and understand who are the people who are the people who are associated. Like, are there hardware vendors? Are there content providers? Are there any other solution providers who are co-selling with you, right? For a particular example, let us say you're building an education platform or content management platform. There could be other school platforms, there could be other streaming platforms, there could be other platforms that are co-selling or integrating into your content management system for schools. So you need to understand who are playing in the leveling in your field or in your go-to-market. Oftentimes we only focus on who the direct customers is, but ignoring who your ecosystem players early on kind of makes you lose out on those opportunities that they have access to. So the goal is to like look around, look at who could be your ecosystem partner. One thing to also keep in mind is like, given the kind of markets that we have globally, nobody is your competition, right? There's always an opportunity to partner with companies. Oftentimes they'll have a portion of the products that you have, but you could be an extension for a particular use case. So it's always good to go figure out who you think your competitors are. Are they servicing all the markets? If there's a smaller market or a segment or a different category they're not able to address, can you actually leverage them to address those markets? So that is, I would say, the first step in identifying your ecosystem partners, right? One thing also to go deep is like, look, like I mentioned, look at what your product is, right? That is the first step. Partnerships is not like a cookie cutter approach. It's very, very customized to what product you're building. And I'll provide you 3 different categories, and I'll actually walk you through a simple example to understand how selling works. Like, how do you sell your product, right? For example, let's take Zoom for an example in this case. Zoom as a standalone application, people can download it. It's a SaaS platform. You enter a credit card, you sign up, and you get a license, and it's purely direct to customers, right? It could be an enterprise use case, it could be a consumer use case. It's a clean SaaS product, right? It's a standalone offer. Then many people don't realize when you actually use RingCentral's video call or video communication, it's actually Zoom. So Zoom has actually partnered with RingCentral. RingCentral has a lot of other functionalities in voice, in telephony, but when it comes to video conferencing, Zoom actually has a strategic partnership. So that becomes a product bundle. So wherever RingCentral gets sold in various enterprise deals, Zoom gets sold as well. And what that it means is that Zoom actually has increased its reach from its direct customers to all the customers and enterprises that RingCentral is addressing. And that is what we call as a simple product bundle, right? This is very, very relevant for companies who are like early stage, from 3 to 10 million ARR or 3 to 15 million ARR. This is like a perfect example of how you can actually accelerate your product market fit, reach more customers, and scale your revenue. The next stage is solution integration, right? This is something that you should always engage as early as possible, but oftentimes it it only matures because you have, as a startup or as an early stage company, you have to build credibility and should have some wins or case studies to make solutions integrators very interested in your product or put it part of a bundle. For example, in the case of Zoom, let us say a large corporation is engaging a system integrator to build what is called a software for a meeting room management system. So there is a meeting room management system, there is a calendar integration, then there is Zoom software, and there is conference room telephony hardware. So there's bundles of software, hardware, and Zoom put together for a large scale solution, and Zoom gets sold into as a part of a solution bid. Your system integrators could be like the TCS of the world, Infosys, various other system integrators, and Zoom gets to be part of this system integrator solution. Oftentimes, like when I started out, like a lot of people told me like, "Hey, this is too early for you. You're going to be spinning cycles in partnerships and solution integration." My recommendation or my what experience has been like, if you have a product that is solving a critical need, you'll be very surprised that oftentimes established players are not nimble or are not as quick as startups are, and you'd be surprised that large enterprises might be appreciating the fact that you can customize a solution, open up APIs, or even be flexible to extend your product to meet this need. So never be afraid to go try out product bundles or solution integration, even however large the deal could be. So that is like 3 stages that I would say are great ways to monetize or like bundle your products or to integrate with other solution providers. Mm-hmm. Let's kind of walk through what different stages look like for a partnership, right? I mean, you have a partner, you have a product, you talk about your product to various others. These are not direct customers. These are people who are reselling, who are bundling, who are going to be integrating your product. You talk about your product, you create awareness. Their competing product team will come and evaluate if this is a product that are we ever going to build, or is this a product that we're always going to partner with, right? Let's say you're building a use case that is not going to be part of the roadmap, then the product team will say, that's fine. I think there's an additional use case. Let's test it out. So they will validate your product first, right? Because they need to make sure that it performs the way it performs, it validates the way it validates. For us, like when we work with Lenovo or with Intel, we had to go through like at least 3 or 4 months of technical due diligence before they actually said, you know what, Esper works great. Let's bring our sales and marketing people. And then when sales and marketing people come on board, they will also would like to understand your product at a higher level. And once they gain confidence that this is a good product, they would actually ask for some integration. But this is something that I want to emphasize very clearly, right? Product integration. It's very key to understand that just because you integrate your product with somebody else doesn't mean that they're going to sell yours. So it's very critical for small companies or early stage companies not to jump in and integrate with 10 other companies. Let's wait till actually there's a real opportunity or there is intent from both companies, right? Just because you're a small startup or an early stage startup doesn't mean that you have to integrate every big solution out there. Unless there's a real customer need or there is intent from your partner to co-sell those solutions, I would highly encourage companies to wait before actually collaborating and integrating or spending your dev cycles and actually creating a joint product. Oftentimes I've seen a lot of partnership announcements for PR or press, and it's then your company becomes part of this 100 company logo wall. That does not move your bottom line, right? I mean, it's a great PR story. It's fun to say you're partnering with the biggest company in the ecosystem, but I highly encourage like all the founders or sales or BD folks to evaluate if this is actually going to generate opportunity or lead or not, because currently there are a lot of things that you could be doing. And last thing you want is to actually have a marketing or a sales event without actually converting into opportunity. So product integration, make sure you're integrating only when there's a real intent, right? Let's say your product is integrated or you're actually having APIs opened up for just-in-time integration. Then you typically engage in what we call as joint marketing, joint selling, and co-selling, right? I mean, it's just like in some cases reselling also. At that phase, you're actually deeply integrated. Both the companies share information about each other's product, talk to their prospects about each other, and you're in bids together, you're in deals together, you're actually trying to win deals together, and you're actually making revenue happen. The beauty of a successful partnership is such that you can scale your revenue, you can scale your ARR without actually multiplying your sales force, right? You're actually like their sales team becomes your part of your sales team. They are reaching additional customers. And what it also means is your overall customer acquisition cost actually goes down. Keep in mind, yes, there is a percentage that revenue sharing that your ACV might be lower because you're actually giving a percentage share to the customer. But I think if you take into account the cost of selling, sales resources, and your time bandwidth to address those customers, I think successful partnerships actually leads to a much more sustainable and efficient revenue, right? Going one step further, I think to emphasize the three major steps in that journey is co-market. Is the partner willing to talk about your product to customers, to public, in PR, in social media, and in case studies? That is the first step, right? Second is like, are you being presented to actual customers in a combined solution? Are they selling you? Are they like talking about your product? Is Esper being mentioned to all the companies that our partner is going after? And finally, once they have a few wins, they're like, hey, we really like your product. We're going to create a SKU. It's going to be a joint combined product that always includes your solution. Just check your bank account and you'll see all the revenue coming in when we sell those deals, right? That is like a great moment for you. It's like when a partner says, I have a custom SKU that is including your solution, right? That is where you like sit back and like watch deals come through and make revenue happen. Before we go to questions, I just want to quickly summarize whatever I said. You start with what your ecosystem is. You understand who's in your playing field, who your competitions are, who are other players who can actually enhance your product offering, and also look at your monetization model needs to be sometimes changed or be flexible enough to accommodate certain set of partnerships. Then once you understand that, you go out and identify these partners, you engage them. Oftentimes, you have to be ready to walk away from some partnerships that are not yielding or not going in the right direction. Yes, you have to be patient. You have to build it out. You wait, give a little bit of time, but do not press the gas pedal until it's really leading to revenue or to any kind of growth from your side. And if it leads to go forward, or sometimes you need to step back and until the partnership is mature. And finally, you realize those revenue, create the right set of SLAs, support your partner with documentation, with customer support, make sure they look good in front of the customers, and scale products together, right? I mean, that is, I truly believe that any company or any SaaS product or any product in general can be combined or integrated, or in the world of APIs, pretty much everything is an integration or everything is a combined product. So that is it. I would love to end this by saying that thanks for being here. I'm very grateful for being here. Thanks to Chameli for making this happen. And I was chatting with Chameli before the talk. It's like I am available for this ecosystem to help you guys try out how to actually use partnerships to scale your early stage revenue. It could be an early stage company, pre-product company, or a product company, or just getting your first set of customers. Do reach out to me or to Chameli to see if you like to brainstorm on how you can scale your product offerings and go to market using partnership. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shiv. That was an amazing presentation. It was simplified. It just had the right amount of information. So we do have a couple of questions for today. The first one is starting with cultural differences. I know now that you're building product for the global audience from India or from US or anywhere, you eventually have to venture into different geographies, which might end up having cultural differences, especially when you're venturing into APAC or from APAC to US. So the question here is, does the cultural difference part play a role in building, or are there any pointers to consider when it comes to this?
I mean, I have a very, I'm going to take a very non-traditional approach to this. It's like, I personally do not believe in the world of software, in the world of SaaS, when if Freshdesk built in Chennai can be used globally and Zoho everywhere, and like we are adopting software technologies that are built in the US. I wouldn't say there's any, like, I wouldn't approach uh, any product from a culture perspective. I think it's purely based on what the need is and what the market needs are. I think as long as you're sensitive to what the market dynamics is within the country or within those regions, be it price, be it product, or be it like security, privacy, or whatever the local governing laws or compliance are. And I think you are free to sell to any region and anything as long as you're compliant. Like my head of sales, Billy, always says, you just listen to your customer, right? I mean, you listen to your customer, let them talk, let them tell you what your pain points are, and you can never go wrong in terms of culture, right? I mean, if you go in with a preset notion on what the product looks like or what the integration looks like, I would say that you're always going to fail. But I think if you're going to listen to your customer and make them successful, any customer could be happy. I mean, like, very specific for us, we actually had a great deployment come up in Russia, and our team in Bangalore won the deal, supported the deal. There was absolutely no questions about customer cultural differences. We gave a great customer service. We won the deal, and we deployed really well with them. So I think it's all about customer engagement and customer empathy when it
That's
comes
really
to.
cool. Yeah, and I think I have one interesting question over here posted by Pavitra, which is, what are your thoughts on partnering with organizations that are already working with your competitors?
Oh, I'm actually super for it.
Okay.
I generally I actually go and partner with everybody who are partnering with my competitors, because my pitch is very straightforward. It's like, hey, I know you're partnering with 3 other companies. There are going to be multiple deals which you are not going to get despite those 3 partners. When that comes, just let us know. We'll be there for you, right? I mean, that's about it. Pretty much like every single partnership we got or scaled was one where they failed with their existing partner. So we just waited for them to like try it out with some partners, or like they sold with one other partner and the customer was so unhappy that they were about to churn, so they bought us in. So I think it's completely fine. It's a win-win, right? I mean, like I think as long as you have a good product, you can support your customers and your customer obsessed, it's completely okay. And any system integrator or value-added reseller is going to have 3 or 4 products of the same category, because he's not going to rely on one person or one product to sell into that market.
Yeah, that's really cool. The next question is, and I think this will probably be the last question, because in 2 minutes the session will come to an end. So there are like 2 basic types of SaaS, which is either plug and play SaaS or platform SaaS, which can be customized. Are there any differences in the type of partner approach when it comes to this? Because we all know that the type of tool dictates a lot when it comes to establishing a partner network.
Yeah, I think great question. I think you eventually, like when you're building the first 1 year, you're going to build a standalone product, right? It's just going to be for direct customers only. It's completely going to be inbound. And you have to have your 10 to 15 wins. And then once it's actually successful, I highly encourage customers to actually, or like companies to open up their APIs, let them integrate, let them build like use cases that you never imagined, right? Let's not be like kind of bogged down by your UI or use cases or your workflow. Try to create an open API, try to create extensive documentation, open it up to developers and let them lead into like a bottoms up growth, right? I mean, you can never go wrong with that.
Got it. Thank you, Shiv. I think we're at the end of the session now. Audience, thank you all for being a part of this session. If you have any further questions, feel free to write to Shiv or tweet to him, tagging SaaS Insider. The next session will start in 5 minutes. Meanwhile, feel free to go about and check out the booths. Esper also has a booth over here, so don't miss it.
All right.